Hi, my name is Shelly Hundley, and I'm the Executive Director of Prom, Winston, Salem. And first and foremost, before anything else, I just wanted to say thank you so much to each and every one of you for volunteering for Prom. If you've never volunteered before, this is one of the most amazing events that you can imagine volunteering for. It's so much fun. Personally, it's just fun, but it's also just so rewarding to see the guests and everyone just so excited to be there. It's such a wonderful, beautiful, unifying event. And I just want you to know that we are very appreciative of your time and your energy, and we are appreciative of your volunteering. Today, I just want to take a few minutes, since we aren't doing an in-person volunteer training this year. I want to just take a minute or two, do a little video of a couple things that I think would be helpful for you about working with people with different abilities and special needs, as well as I'd like to go over some things about our event in general that gives some information that you will need to know for the night of Joy Prom. So please watch to the end of this video so that you will get all the needed information. First off, what I would like to discuss with y'all is a little bit about working with people with different abilities and special needs. If you've never had the opportunity to work with someone with a disability or special needs, you may be a little anxious about it. And you may be a little bit questionable about what to do and how to interact. And I want you to know that's very, very normal. And there's nothing wrong with feeling that way. It's so normal that when we are exposed to something or do something that we're not used to or we're unfamiliar with, that we do have those feelings of unsureness and insecurity. But I want you to know that it's okay to feel that way. But hopefully by the end of Joy Prom, hopefully a lot sooner than that into the evening, that worry and that anxiety will melt away. And that you will just realize that this is so much easier than maybe what you expected. I'm going to give a few tips about working with people with disabilities. I personally have worked with people and been around people with different abilities and special needs for my entire life. My mother was physically disabled and was a special ed teacher. And then that ended up being my passion and what I went to college and ended up doing. And then I have in some way, shape, or form worked with people with different abilities and special needs pretty much my entire life. So this is something that comes really naturally to me, but it may not come naturally to everyone else. And that's okay. Like I said, it's okay. Just listen to what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you a few tips, and hopefully they'll help you understand how to interact a little bit better. The first thing, I've got a few just tips, and the first one is interact. That's all there is to that one. Interact. Interact with the guests that you are with. Interact with the guests that you have come up and maybe you just meet or see. Just interact with them. Don't ignore them. Don't act like they're not there. Don't be afraid of them. Sometimes that people get afraid because they are afraid they will sound stupid, or they're afraid that the person may not understand what they're talking about or what they're saying. But don't be afraid to interact. You know how it feels if someone ignores you. It's not a good feeling. Our guests, though they may not always show it, and you may not realize it, by some of their body language and stuff, you may not think that they truly understand everything, but a lot of our guests really understand a lot more than you think they do. A lot of them can read your body language. They can read your eye contact, and they have emotions as well. So when someone ignores me or you, a lot of times that makes us feel insignificant and unimportant. And our guests feel the exact same way as well. So interact. That's the first thing. Just talk to them. Interact. Next is observe. Pay attention. Look at their body language. You can tell a lot by people's body language, and you'll be able to tell a lot by our guests' body language as well. Their body language, if they're nonverbal, or even if they're completely verbal and very high functioning, their body language will often tend to tell you a little bit about them and about how they're feeling at that moment. If their body language is tense, then they may be feeling anxiety at that point, or they may not feel safe. If their body language is relaxed and open, and that they're smiling or they're looking at you, a lot of times they're engaged, just like other people. So just pay attention to their eyes and what they're looking at, if they're paying attention to you, and their body language. Those are super important in how we can observe to know how to interact with them. Be flexible. Be flexible. You may have a guest that's attention span is super short. Their attention span may be 5 minutes on the dance floor, and then one game of bingo, and then to the food, and then to pamper. They may want to go around. They may have very short attention span. And this is a super exciting event. So that's one of those things that, they are going to be super excited about, and they are going to be wanting to go and do everything. So it may be that their attention span is short. Just be flexible. Let them do some of those things. If they're in the middle of a bingo game, and they want to get up and leave, you may want to encourage them. Hey, let's finish this game. You may win something. Or if you feel like that might not be something that they're okay with, then you need to, or that would be emotionally distressful for them, then be flexible. Okay, let's go do something else. That's one of the things. Just be flexible. Use visual or auditory cues. Sometimes if our guests, whether they're verbal or nonverbal, whether they're high functioning or low functioning, may not always understand everything that you are saying to them, because we often use language and such that may be above their ability levels. So give them options and be very visual about them. So you may want to say, hey, if you're going through the food line, what would you like? Those chicken nuggets, would you like chicken nuggets, or something like that? Or if you have jewelry that maybe a female is in the pamper room and they're trying to pick, what colors do you like? Do you like red or blue? You don't necessarily have to have them take that item, but give them options, and that'll give you some directions on what to do. But that's very helpful to often use visual cues and auditory cues as well for them. Be positive. Be positive. Sometimes our guests may seem as if they are negative, or they're cranky. And that's okay. I mean, we can be negative and cranky as well sometimes. Be positive with them. Be like, oh no, we're having fun. This is great. And just try to keep things on the positive side. That will be really helpful if you have a guest that is a little bit cranky. Be friendly. Like I said, interact at the beginning. Interact, be friendly. Just interact and be friendly with these guests as you would anybody else. That's super important. And be yourself. Being yourself is, again, just so important. People like other people because of who they are, and because of how they act, and because of their interactions. Just be yourself. We wouldn't want you to be anything else. We don't want our guests to feel like they're anything else. We want you to be yourself. And just like this year's theme being works of art, you are his masterpiece. I want you to understand, like, everybody's personalities may be different. They may look different. They may have different ability levels. They may have different backgrounds and different religions, but it doesn't matter. On Friday night, everybody's going to be unified, and just be yourself, and let the guest accept you for who you are, and you accept them for who they are. And that's something that really will make a difference in how they feel about you. And then another, and just kind of my last one to pull in on this one, is safety first. A lot of times our guests may not realize that they are in an unsafe situation, or that maybe that they are not processing that walking out in front of a car, or walking over somewhere away from the other people, or hanging on something is not safe, but you understand what's safe and what's not safe. And it's very, very important to keep our guests safe. So that is one thing that we ask that you very much pay attention to, is their safety, and help them be safe during their entire time that they are with us. So those are a few things that will hopefully help you be able to interact a little bit better with the guests at Joy Prom. And so I hope that you're able to use some of those skills and some of those thoughts in order to feel more comfortable and to interact a little bit more relaxed and personally with our guests. Now, as for things that have to do with Joy Prom Winston-Salem 2022, I'm going to go over a few things that you definitely need to know and that I need you to be aware of prior to the event. When guests arrive at the event, they will come in and they will check in at a registration table. And at that point, they will receive a name tag. The name tag is double-sided, and it will be on a lanyard that they will wear. Their name tag will have a color label on the front that will help in the matching process with just their first name and a number. Okay, the number is not important to you. It's important to us, but it's not important to you. But their name is large on the front, and that's all that you're going to see. Now on the back, there's quite a bit more information that you're going to need to look at. On the very back, this will have the guest's name as well as their number again. Not something you need to worry about. It will also have the name of their caregiver and emergency contact for that evening. If there is a crisis or emergency, we will have EMS on site, and they will just be able to have this immediately. So that's important. Underneath that caregiver's emergency contact information, it could be blank, but it also may have some information about something that you need to know about that guest in order for them to be safe and healthy throughout the evening. It may say something like gluten intolerance. It may say allergic to strawberries. It may say seizure disorder. It may say a lot of different, it may say nonverbal, certain things like that. And some of them even have small little cues on nonverbal gift choices. So those are some of the things that may be on there. Those are important for you to pay attention to. Those will help you interact with your guest comfortably and help keep them safe. So we ask that you definitely pay attention to that and look at it. If you see one that does say seizure disorder, please know that that just means that they have some type of seizure disorder. It does not mean they are going to have a seizure that night. A lot of our guests have a seizure disorder that's controlled medically. But that information is important to know. And if by chance your guest does have a seizure, they just need to be helped comfortably to the ground to lay down. And then somebody needs to get a medic. They need to be comfortable laying down on the ground, preferably on their side. And soon, very quickly, hopefully, you will see a leadership person step in or an EMS person step in to help you. So don't panic about those things. They might happen. We want to be prepared for them to happen. However, that being said, we don't expect them to happen, but we do want to be prepared. At the bottom of their name tag, it also says guest will be picked up, and then it gives some options. It will either say at caregiver suite or by car in the parking lot or other. If the guest's caregiver is staying with them, that won't be marked at all. If the guest's caregiver is in the caregiver suite, then you will need to take them to the caregiver suite at the end of the evening and physically hand them off to their caregiver before leaving. We will never leave a guest unattended. If you have some reason that you have to leave immediately, you need to find someone in a leadership position to hand your guest off to them so that they can make sure they hand the guest off to the caregiver. They are never to be left alone in a situation that they do not have someone that is making sure that they are safe. If it says by car or parking lot, there will be an area that will be marked, and you need to take your guests to that area and help them load into the car before leaving. And again, do not drop your guests, please. If you need to leave for some reason, please seek out someone in a leadership position to hand your guest off so that they can make sure that they are safe and get into the correct car. If their caregiver is staying with them throughout the evening, then that's super easy. Obviously, the caregiver's with them and they'll leave from there. But again, don't leave them unattended. If you need assistance in any way, shape, or form, that you're not sure what to do, all that you need to do is find somebody that has a blue light up lanyard. If they have a blue light up lanyard on, that means they are a leader and in a leadership position, and they know exactly kind of where things are and what to do in different situations. They are someone that you need to seek out, and they can help you. So just kind of look, if you have a crisis, there should be quite a few of these around during the evening that will know kind of things of what to do, how to help you, and how to help our guests if needed. They can also direct you to different areas and show you where things are if you don't know. Now, when guests arrive and they come down the red carpet, that red carpet will kind of dump out at the matching, where they will be matched with a host or hostess. Once they're matched, then they can go enjoy the night. The setup this year is at the Dash Stadium, and it will be in the main concourse. Now, if you've ever been to the Dash Stadium, or honestly any baseball stadium, this is kind of the simple, basic setup where guests will come in over near third base, walk down, and once they get under the covered concourse, that's where everything happens. Everything is under that concourse. There is nothing inside the building or upstairs or up the elevator except for the sensory and quiet room. And if a guest needs to go to the sensory quiet room in order to kind of have a break, because maybe they've been a little overstimulated, then we will have it marked of where to go up the stairs to one of the suites. And if you go up there to one of those suites, there will be a person that is working that area that will be in there with you. And just give the guests some time to calm down and then reintegrate them back into prom. So going through the concourse, after that, you will have dance floor down through there. There's going to be some information tables. The police department has some free giveaways that they're going to give away and some things like that at a table. The pamper area is for females, and they can go get their hair and makeup touched up. It's not that they get full hair and makeup done, but there are people there that will touch up their hair a little bit, touch up their makeup a little bit, and kind of help them feel glamorous. As well as there will be tables of jewelry that is free for our guests. And we have a lot of jewelry, and this is one area that we've had amazing donations over the years in, and so we have a lot of jewelry. What we do ask is that guests get a couple pieces, 2 pieces, maybe 3 when they first go through. So we want to make sure that everybody gets not just to get something, but they get a good selection to choose from, so that they can get those items that they take with them. Now, towards the end of the night, they are allowed to go back and get more if they would like, a few more pieces. We don't want to encourage them hoarding just huge bags of it, but if they want to get another piece or 2, that's fine. Also, if volunteers walk by and they see something that they really like and they think, oh, I'd really wear that, you are welcome to go back around that 9 to 9:30-ish time. And if that item is still available, you are welcome to take it with you. We have no problem with that at all. But what we do ask is that you wait towards the end of the evening to take that item so that, again, our guests, who are the ones that we are honoring, are able to get that item first, so that they get the first pick. As for the shoe shine area, the men can go to the shoe shine area, get their shoes shined, so that they feel dapper and handsome as well. And then there's the food area, and there's plenty of food for all of our volunteers, guests, caregivers. Please go eat. It is not a full meal. And we encourage you eat before you come. It is not a full meal. There's a lot of desserts. We do have hot dogs and chicken nuggets and macaroni and cheese and fruits and vegetables and stuff as well. But just know it's not a full meal. So you can head to that area. What we do ask is that if you sit down at a table, there are not enough tables and chairs for every single person to sit there and eat. So once your guest sits and eats their food and you sit and eat your food, we ask that you get up and move. And that being so that other people have the ability to come in and sit down. A lot of people will not seek out asking you to, if you're done or if you will move so that they can sit down. And we don't want to put them in that position anyway. So once that you are done and your guests are done, please get up and go ahead and move out of that area so that it's available for other people. We also have a bingo area, and there are tons of prizes that guests can win when they play bingo. A lot of them may need help, and so you don't necessarily have to flip their card for them, but it would be great to use a gesture or point. If maybe it's B23 and it's not B5 or whatever, and they're looking and you see it, but maybe they don't. Don't necessarily take it and flip it for them. Just kind of point to it. Hey, is that B5? Or something like that. Help them feel like they are the ones that are doing this. We want them to feel excited and them to feel successful. Then throughout the evening, they can go in and out of these places. Again, just like the food and bingo, we ask that you don't let them sit there all night. Some of our guests would sit there all night and play bingo all night long. And that's just not fair to all the other guests that maybe would like to go play. So if we just let them play for a little bit and then go ahead and get them back up. Even if they don't want to go to the dance floor and dance, which I don't know who wouldn't, but even if they don't want to go to the dance floor, that's fine. Just get them up and maybe walk around for a little bit and then you can come back. But just don't take that seat forever because there are other guests that we do want to have the same experiences. Limousine rides are going to be offered and they will start at 7:30. They will be offered exactly at the gate that you come in. So they start at 7:30 to 9:30 and they're just short limousine rides, but there are 2 limousines that will be driving people around just for fun. So if you would like to go ride in the limousine, that's great. There will be a waiting area for you once you get over there till you get in the limousine. You can ride the limousine more than once and your guests can ride in the limousine more than once. We have no problem with that. However, please know that the leader in the limousine area may tell you that you need to wait if you have already ridden. They may say, hey, you've already gone on a ride. We've got 5 other people here that have not been at all. So they need to ride first. So note that on your second or third or any other additional limousine rides that you may choose to go on or your guests may choose to go on, that if there are guests that have not been at all, they will be given priority to go ahead and ride prior to you being allowed to do your second, third, or more rides. The most important thing when it comes to a lot of this stuff is if you don't know, ask. If you don't know, don't make it up. Just ask. We understand, and those of us that are in leadership positions completely understand that that things are new and this is different and we did not get to walk through with you beforehand. So if you don't know, again, find somebody with this blue lanyard and ask them and just say, hey, I don't know where to go, and that we will help you. And if they can't help you, they will find someone that can. Just don't hesitate to ask any of those things. I'm sure that you have more questions and you may have things that you need to know. If on Joy Prom night you still have a question and you don't really know what to do, again, find somebody in a leadership position, or you're welcome to seek me out, and I will be more than happy to come and talk to you and help and make sure that everything goes smoothly. And I love to meet everyone, so please feel free to hunt me down. I will say the one difference is my lanyard is white. And so although the leaderships are blue, I do have a white lanyard. And that's just so that we know, everybody knows who to come to if there is something that needs needs my attention. We are so grateful again for your volunteering and for your doing this and to spend time so that we can honor these beautiful, beautiful people in our community and let them feel special and wonderful about themselves. Thank you for all of your time, all of your support, and we look forward to seeing you on Friday night. And one last thing, you should receive with this email or in a supplementary email the time that you need to arrive. We ask that you please be on time because there's a lot of things that have to happen once that you all get there. And when I say please be on time, we need everybody on time so that we don't have stragglers coming in and out that we're trying to figure out how to handle and how to get signed in. So we ask that when you receive that email that has your time, that you please try to be there at that time if possible. If you are unable to be there at that time, please feel free. There will be a phone number that you can call or text, which will go to me. Please give me a call. Please send me a text and say, hey, I'm volunteering for this. It says I need to be there at 6 o'clock. I probably won't get there till 6:15. Send me a text or give me a call and we can work with that. If we know in advance, we can work with that. If we don't, it kind of puts us in a bad situation. And if you need volunteer forms signed, you will need to just speak to someone at the volunteer registration table so that they can verify your volunteer hours. Anyway, again, thank you for volunteering. This this Friday night is going to be a blast. I hope that y'all enjoy it even half as much as I do. And I look forward to meeting a lot of you and having a wonderful evening. Take care.